Hey, Steam here. So I just received the Phantom X by REV Skateboards. This is one of my most anticipated electric skateboards of 2025. Again, I have another most anticipated electric skateboard. It's got top of the line everything. So let's go through the list. So today what I'm going to do is just a quick unboxing and a quick kind of test in the parking lot to just get a quick understanding of how the truck works, quick first impression of how everything works, and then kind of highlight for you guys the features that I think are the most unique and the most important for this board. Next, what I want you to do is to help me by asking questions. What do you want to see tested? What are your questions? What do you want to know about this electric skateboard so I can put them into the next video? If I need to test them, I'll test them and get you the answers. These are the production units. I know there are two demo boards or two pre-production units that have been running around in the United States. Those are obsolete in the sense that a lot of things, a lot of internals and externals have been changed since then. Pay attention to the specs, because if you have watched any REV board videos up to this point, they're no longer current when it comes to specs. The first thing is that the Phantom X is a two-wheel drive board, but it's got dual ESCs. It's got one for each motor. Each ESC is running up to 200 amps of phase current nominal and 300 amps peak. The ESCs used are custom versions of the Maker X D100S ESCs. This ESC is special because it's got essentially two ESCs built into a single box, and it's one of the most high-performance ESCs that you can get your hands on. A lot of racers are actually using this to race with it, and it's extremely expensive. It's the price of an entry-level electric skateboard. The Phantom X is also running a 21S6P battery pack. Just to put into perspective, a normal skateboard is running 12S and this one's running 21S. So there's 21 battery cells in a series. What does this do? This gives you a very high voltage. This is the highest voltage production board ever released at 75.6 volts nominal and 88.2 volts peak. High voltage again allows for higher top speed. So in theory, if you change gears, you could run the board a lot faster than what it actually allows. The Phantom X can pump out a mind-boggling 12 kilowatts of continuous power, and it did this on a dyno. Right, you put this on a dyno and it runs, and they were able to record this number. However, what the team told me is that when they were looking at the VESC software, they actually recorded a peak of 16 kilowatts of peak power when they were looking at their VESC software. It's not continuous, but it's still a huge amount of power. This is more power than my Talaria motorcycles. It's got a top speed of 46 miles per hour and a range of 75 miles. I'm definitely going to put this test. I weigh close to 200 pounds with all my gears, so I really do want to see how many miles this thing would give me with a battery pack of roughly around 2,200 watt hours. One of the other coolest things about this electric skateboard is that it can connect to two apps. The remote can be connected to the X-Way app for user-friendly tweaks. So you can change your gears, you can change your acceleration curve, you can change your top speed and all that stuff. But you can also load up VESC software and then fully tune it as a DIY customizable electric skateboard. So if you're a pro, you can definitely load VESC and kind of tune the board from that perspective. Just be warned, if you don't know how to use VESC, do not open it up because you will break this board. Be sure to consult someone who knows what they're doing if you're going to touch the VESC software. And one of the crown jewels of this electric skateboard is the single axis swing arm. It's similar to Tito's due to the fact that it's using a single axis swing arm. Single axis swing arms are super stable at high speeds, and its design is even closer to the Limb Power's trucks, except this one has a ball bearing in it. I think if you love Tito's duality trucks and you have tried the Limb Power the Ones trucks, you'll get used to these really quickly. So the REV board team told me, hey, it might take a while for you to get used to these trucks, but because I have the Tito's duality trucks and because I have the Limb Power's trucks, it felt very natural to me when I was standing on it. I adjusted to these trucks very quickly. But if you have never tried trucks that are single axis, that is based off of a single axis swing arm, but then you may take longer to adjust to it. It's also got the latest 4GS gear drive system. It's slimmer, it's more efficient, it's using helical gear. So as a result, it sounds extremely unique. It sounds like a spaceship humming. And it's got 2 holes on top of it, so you can mount stuff to the gear drive. You can mount things like LEDs or GoPros, pretty cool stuff. So you don't need to buy a whole clamp system to try to mount things onto the gear drive. Next, we have the X-Way Rexus remote. The Rexus remote is one of my favorite remotes. You can control the Bifrost LED system, and it can be connected to a VESC ESC. If you have other VESC electric skateboards, you can essentially take this remote and connect to other VESC electric skateboards. It's one of my favorite remotes. I love this thing a lot. Next, it's got a 45-watt reverse charging. So if you ever want to charge your laptop or your phone, just connect your phone or laptop to your skateboard and it's going to fast charge all your electronics. And just from my initial first impressions, it's incredibly comfortable. These wheels on it, these huge SUV level wheels, are incredibly sticky and grippy. The truck carves and turns extremely well, and the board delivers a lot of torque, but still remains stable at high speeds. I wasn't able to go super fast, like 30 miles per hour, but just at the speed that I was going at in the parking lot, it felt incredibly stable. This could be the ultimate urban SUV. I think this is it. I've been saving my LaCroix Lone Star Super Sport for quite a while because there was no board on the market that could replace it, that could replace a boutique board. But today what I'm looking at is a factory manufactured board that is better than the LaCroix in almost every single way possible. So if the review is favorable, I think it's my time to let go of the LaCroix Lone Star Super Sport and embrace the Phantom X as my next all-purpose, do-everything cruiser long-range electric skateboard that also has an insane amount of torque and power. Again, let me know what you want to see tested. What are your questions about this electric skateboard? Just let me know down below. I'll put them into testing. Hey, so we're outside testing the Phantom X. Holy crap, I am so excited. This thing is essentially a mini SUV at this point. It is incredibly comfortable. And I have to mention the gear drive. This is an all-new newbie gear drive. It sounds like nothing I've ever heard before. It sounds like a spaceship. Let's just get started with the ride real quick. These are big, beefy wheels. Huge wheels. Let's talk about these trucks. These are single pivot trucks, kind of similar to the Dualities. The experience is very natural, right? I'm very used to double kingpin trucks, TKP, RKP trucks, and these trucks, they feel, when you're carving, they feel incredibly natural. But they also do feel like they want to snap back into a forward going position very urgently. That's how I would describe it. See, whenever I try to make a carve, I can make the deepest carve right now, but it kind of just snaps back. And it's kind of loose too. I definitely will tighten it up a little bit before I do any sort of speed test. But any sort of wobble, any type of wobble is met with this immediate snapback feeling, which is actually very, very cool. I was concerned that it will take me a while to kind of get used to this board, the way that it turns and everything, because it took me a little while to get used to the 1 and the 3-link trucks, but this one just feels very natural to me. Can you carve? Hell yeah, you can carve on this. And I gotta say, with these giant tires, the traction feels so good. There's a very good amount of traction. Usually I can feel it when the board or when the tire is starting to lose traction, but for this one, I don't feel it. Wow. But for this one, I just feel maximum 100% grip. Let's talk about brakes on this thing real quick. The brakes come out of the box at 7, so 7 out of 9. And it almost threw me off the board. The brakes on this thing is super, super touchy. So I set it down to 3. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the bounce. So there is definitely a good amount of rebound on this thing as well. And can you carve on this? Hell yeah, you can. This is Riptide. For a board that's close to 50 pounds, this thing carves and feels
very nimble, incredibly smooth, super smooth. Oh my gosh. And this new truck just allows you to give you the deepest carve and deepest confidence inducing leans. Let me see if I can. Oh yes, look at that. This is great. This is an amazing feeling. I definitely will need to play around with the trucks because right now they feel very carvy and playful. That's not something that I want when I'm doing speed tests and acceleration tests. So I'll definitely be cranking them down. But right now, I'm loving the way this thing carves. For a board this heavy, it carves really, really well. On my LaCroix, which is a similar class of skateboard, it does not carve this well. It just keeps going straight. But this one, it feels stable and it carves extremely well. Really, really love that. And yeah, the brakes are incredibly sensitive. Make sure you lower the brakes down from 7. For me, I'm comfortable with the 3. So you can have a little bit higher, but I do recommend that you kind of adjust the brakes a little bit when you take it out of the box. I'm excited. This thing feels like an SUV. It's super, super comfortable. It carves really, really well. It feels stable. It doesn't feel like a really heavy electric skateboard. So yeah, so let me know your questions down below. Like, how do the trucks work? What else can you adjust? How does the motor sound? Like, ask away all your questions so I can put them into my review. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.